Hi, and welcome to another episode of All Things Considered. Tonight I want to speak to you about a topic that's been spoken on, probably done to death in the last week or two, but I want to talk about it and give you my 2 cents worth. Um, it's about the shootings that just happened. Apparently there was a woman that was shot, and there was an older man, and several people were wounded. This didn't happen on the exact same night. This happened within days apart from each other, I think. But it did happen in the same area, which was up on 3rd and Pine. Now, what's on 3rd and Pine? McDonald's. The McDonald's was there back when I lived in Seattle. Back in the 90s, the McDonald's was there. I never expected that McDonald's to stay there. I assumed that they would have torn that McDonald's down and they would have changed it into something else. And the reason I say that is because that McDonald's did not do a lot of business when I was there. It barely seemed like it was just getting by. Yes, it had a lot of people from the work that would come in and eat lunch there. But after that, it was mostly just people that would just filter in and filter out. But it was 3rd and Pine, which was a block away from the Westlake Shopping Center. So it's kind of in an area where a lot of people would stop in, I guess, for lunch. But other than that, hardly anything. Hardly any breakfast, hardly any dinner. After the lunch rush between 11 and, say, 1 o'clock, or 1:30, 2 o'clock, it was dead pretty much from the neck up. Well, I remember asking a police officer when I was living in Seattle. I was down, coming out of my job at the Downtown Emergency Service Center, which was down by the Pioneer Square. And I saw a police officer standing there getting ready to cross the street, and I asked him, I said, sorry to bother you, sir, but I have a question. Seattle seems pretty tame. Seattle doesn't really seem like it has any crime whatsoever. And he says, oh, I beg to differ. And I said, oh, really? And he says, yeah. He says, we're one of the 5 highest crime rates cities in the United States. And I said, really? And he said, yeah. He said, we just get the crime off the street so fast that you don't really notice it. But we're up there. We have about the top 5 in America. We're one of the top 5 highest crime rated cities in the United States. And I thought to myself, wow, the police really are doing their job. You know, they're kicking ass and taking names and getting the crime off the street so everybody that lives here doesn't have to deal with it. Well, in recent years, well, I'd say within the last 20 years, the police have had their hands tied by the city council. Oh, you can't do this because you might hurt somebody's feelings, and you can't do that because you might step on somebody's toes. And the police basically can't do anything about the crime. Where comes in the 2 shootings that happened within the last couple of weeks? I've never known Seattle to be a city where you see rampant gun shootings. Yes, it's happening a little bit more now than it had in the past, but you don't really hear too much about them because that's not really the type of news that Seattle wants to publish. Seattle doesn't want to push that. They want to be upscale. They want to be Amazon, and they want to be the cool kids at the cool table, and they don't want to talk about all the other uncool part of the school. They're at the cool table, and they like it. They like the appearance of being a rich town. That's what Seattle likes. And Seattle is not a rich town by any stretch of the imagination. It's like Las Vegas. You've got Las Vegas in the Strip. You got Las Vegas and Fremont, where all the casinos are at. It's glitzy. It looks glamorous. You see all the bright lights and the fancy lights, and you hear the slot machines going, and you hear the bells and the whistles, until you find out that there's a regular part of the city with trailer parks, and you've got people on welfare and people on disability, and you've got homeless people that live there. And it's not all bells and whistles, but When Vegas promotes itself, what does Vegas do? It doesn't promote the city of Las Vegas. It promotes the image of Las Vegas, which it has worked its butt off to portray. And Seattle's done the same thing. Seattle has worked its buns off to portray a particular image. It's always been a touristy area. You have the Space Needle on one side of the city, which is like way over here. Then you have the CenturyLink Arena, which is way over here. And everything in between is touristy. And Seattle likes to promote that. They don't want to tell you that there's homeless encampments down underneath a bridge somewhere. They don't want to tell you that there's homeless sleeping in front of a store that may poop on your shoe when you're walking by because he's had too much to drink or he's too high. Now, I'm not saying all homeless are bad. I'm not saying all homeless do that. There are very responsible homeless people that take care of their camp. They pick up after themselves. They keep everything as neat and clean as they can because that is their home for the time being. But having said that, you have a lot of people that don't take care of themselves. In the city of Seattle, they don't put that in any brochures. Whenever you want to take a trip to Seattle, does your travel agent tell you that, oh yeah, and by the way, when you're walking by the Pike Place Market to go shopping for fish, somebody may puke on your shoe because they'd had too much to drink? No, they don't do that. Is that a part of the city? Yes, it is. And I would love to be able to fix that. I want to incorporate the city with the image of the city. I want to incorporate the whole thing because there's a lot of stuff within the city that's very proud, and you know, it's like worth talking about. Yeah, not just the touristy part of Seattle, but the city part of Seattle too. The people that have been there, that's got skin in the game, that have roots. Not the transplants that came. Yes, some transplants came and they fell in love with the city and now it's their home. And then you've got some transplants that moved to Seattle because it's their job. It's not their home. So, let me know what you think about this instance that just happened. Let me get your take on it, and how do you think it's affecting Seattle as a whole? Do you see more crime creeping in than normal? If you do, please put a comment below. Let me know stuff that I may not know about. If you have any people that you can name that got hurt, or if it's anybody you know, put a comment below. I would love to hear from you. If you happen to be the police department and you see this video, please, if there's any information you can give, or if I miscalculated or misquoted anything, please put it in the comment below and I will try to fix it the best I can. Or I will at least put something in the description underneath the video. I'll put something in the description to give you an idea of what I did wrong and how I fixed it. Anyway, if you have another idea for another video, please put it in the comments below. I would love to talk to you about it. If I can do it, I will. If I can't, then I'll let you know. Hit the thumbs up. Also, yeah, hit that big thumbs up. Let me know that you like my videos. Also, hit the subscribe button. It's probably right down here, right underneath this part of the video, right there. It'll say subscribe. I can't do this alone. I can't do this on my own. It's much better when you have a group effort. So I'm going to help you as best I can, and I in turn would like for you to help me become better so I can help you better. Remember, yesterday is gone. Tomorrow hasn't came. But we would like to make tomorrow better than yesterday by doing all that we can today. Have a good night, Seattle, America, and all points beyond.